Good morning. Thanks for joining me today. Well, we're not quite into spring, but we are experiencing spring-like weather, early spring-like weather. And actually, the beginning of the Chinese New Year is really kind of ties into the spring or our wood season. So it's all about, bringing in the new. And so just a kind of a little information on what all of us are experiencing. So we're experiencing some really crazy weather, the wind and the ups and the downs and the really spiky temperatures so early in the season is kind of strange. However, that is, as we get more into spring through March and April, we get a lot of that, not as severe as we're experiencing. So we are experiencing a lot of this unsettlement in showing up in the weather, not just in our lives, in the political systems or the world, worldwide is experiencing a lot of fluctuation. So just being aware that that is happening, and that it's going to affect us emotionally as well. So in springtime, we start to experience things like maybe frustration, quick to anger, that wanting to kind of stretch out and get out more. And then all of a sudden, so one day you have these bright, beautiful sunny days and, everything's great. And the next moment it's like that wind shifts and it's like a stab in the side, right? With that sharp wind. And so we go through this fluctuation and you can imagine, you probably experienced it as very agitating to the system, agitating and, a lot of frustration. So those are all the emotions that are kind of governed by wood, and the liver in particular is the organ that we want to nourish. Organ and the liver and the gallbladder. So gallbladder is the hollow organ, and it supplies a storage place for bile to help the liver to break down the fats, so in the bloodstream. And so as we get more active, our blood will flow more through our bodies, and we actually start to make more blood, and that liver starts to have to function harder. So as we move, that liver is really working hard this time of year. So maybe giving it a little nourishment in terms of steamed foods, steamed greens. Greens are really good for the liver to help it to relax and to be able to work better. And just, notice when you're starting to feel that bout of frustration with your loved ones, and that you don't really mean it, but it comes out anyway, just acknowledge that is what's happening. So the practices that we'll be going over, you got a little indication of what we're doing with the brocade. So stretching, strengthening ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Also some meditations that we can practice. Maybe you've heard of them, but the love and kindness meditation, love and kindness, I think it's called something else. But anyway, love and kindness, you'll see it as love and kindness. It's a meditation that goes through, bringing in love and kindness into someone you really love. Then you go through the whole process with someone who's a neutral person in your life, like, somebody you see every day as you walk outside, or somebody that you always see at the grocery store, check out, whatever. And then you bring the same love and kindness meditation into someone you're really having a problem with, someone you dislike, or you're having some challenges with. Could be a family member, could be a close friend, it could be somebody that you really, really don't like. And you would start with somebody that maybe you're just having some problems with, and then you kind of move into someone you really, really despise. It might be very hard to give love and kindness to. So that's a meditation. It's very well known. You'll find it all kinds of examples on Spotify or any one of the meditation apps that are out there. And I'll send you 3 meditations that kind of can help you go through it. So one's shorter, one's a kind of medium length, and one's maybe a little bit longer. So green is the color of spring, all right? And it's up and out energy, spreading our wings. We'll be doing a lot of really reaching and lifting and opening and moving, and movement is how we kind of dispel that anger. So high emotions are like generosity, benevolence, generosity in terms of helping someone help themselves. That's like really the energy that we're looking at. Wood type person is sinewy, sharp joints, elbows, knees, kind of a rectangle shape, longer limbs, and they have a propensity to really want the best for others and themselves. They're always, giving and bringing people up. So that should cover it. I will send you a little handout on, just a little bit more information about springtime, about the wood season, and that should help. So let's get started. So let's begin with our feet about hip width apart or together, and we'll take 3 inhales, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale as we come down. Inhale, rotating over to the right side, gathering the heavens. Exhale as we pull it down, closing on the left side. One more time. Good. And finding your center, we can take the feet a little bit wider, so we don't really go too far past the hips. Make sure that the feet are parallel, toes turned in slightly, and going into our standing like a tree, wood stance. Rotate the elbows and bring them out and forward, and then drop them or kind of rotate, pulling them in a little bit. So you feel a little tug along the outside of the shoulders, and then drop the elbows in towards liver 14. And we've discussed liver 14 in our Old Man Searches for the Pearl, which is something we're going to, healing sound meditation we're going to be working with more in this season. So liver 14 is right under your breast nipple line, kind of right into that rib that sinks in. It's the first free rib, the coming off the sternum, right in between there. And if you press here with your middle finger between the ribs, you might feel a little queasy, a little unsettling, kind of a little bile-y kind of feeling when pressing hard there. So it's not really like the sweet, painful point. It's more of like a point, if that makes any sense. And that is the last point on the liver meridian. The beginning of the liver meridian is right here on the inside, actually the outside of your big toenail. And it comes in up the inner thigh and zigzag, comes through the hip and then up liver 14 or liver 13, and then zigzags up to liver 14. Okay, so we're standing with our elbows slightly inward, so we feel a little stress on, on those muscles and tendons there. Fingertips are reaching up towards the heavens. Middle finger triggers slightly forward. Take a breath in, filling the belly, filling the lower rib cage, middle rib cage, upper ribs to the collarbones. And exhale from the upper lungs down through the middle lungs, lower belly. So standing like a tree. With your next inhale, bring your tongue up to the roof of the mouth. About a half an inch behind the front teeth. On the exhale, drop the tongue. Inhale to lift the tongue. Exhale to drop the tongue. So join in a nice long deep breath. Lifting the tongue. Pause on the top of that breath. And exhale, drop the tongue. Draw the navel back. Lift the perineum. Pause at the bottom of the breath. Lift the tongue and inhale. Drop the tongue and pause. Exhale. Pull the navel back. Lift the perineum. Pause. Inhale, lift the tongue. Release the tongue and pause. Exhale. Draw back the navel, up the perineum, pause. In. A couple more. With your next inhale, let your eyes open, let your elbows bow out, palms face the heart, fingertips are right out in front of you, embracing the heart. This is our fire stance. So part of our protocol that we practice in the springtime are the 5 postures, standing meditation postures. So 1 is for the wood, stand like a tree. 2, embracing the heart. And so we're trying to keep the elbows, relaxed, but pulled away from the body, feeling the armpits cleared. The wrists are gently pressing forward. It's like you're holding a beach ball in front of you. The fingertips are being somewhat drawn, almost attracted like magnets, but at the same time repelled. So there's this energy going through your fingertips, back and forth, in and out. And as you look towards your fingers, you can see the reflection of your rib cage with the sternum between your fingers, the fingers being the ribs. Let me just take a moment to embrace this posture. Taking the tongue on the inhale to the back of the front teeth at the alveolar ridge. Release the tongue on your pause. And then exhale, drawing the navel back, perineum up. Inhale, we bring the tongue to the alveolar ridge. Let the tongue drop away for the pause. And exhale, drawing up and in. Let's do one more time. Then next inhale, releasing the arms. So wood produces fire, fire creates earth, earth is a mountain stance. So stand like a mountain. The clearing of the armpits, fingertips now go down and are expanding, separating. And for the tongue position, go straight down on the bottom palate of your mouth. So for the inhale, just kind of curls under, right underneath that little tie where the tongue is attached to the bottom. And as you pause, you just gently let that tongue relax. And as you exhale, drawing the navel back, perineum up. We'll just do 2 more breaths like that. In. When you're finished with this last exhale, we're going to take the hands from the side and bring them out in front, holding the golden chi ball. So similar to embracing the heart, but lower, so we're in line with the belly. The thumbs are about navel height, and the fingertips, so kind of creating a basin of sorts. So now the hands kind of reflect that pelvis, right? And we can see the ridge of the pelvis with the thumbs and the bottom with the fingers. So earth creates the metal. So the point that we are bringing our tongue to is just below the lower teeth, lower front teeth. So inhale with the tongue touching just below the lower front teeth. Pause, let it gently pull away. And exhale, emptying the lungs, draw the navel back, perineum up. And 2 more rounds. When you're finished with your 3rd round, sit your hands open up. Indoor standing in a river. Keeping the armpits open, gently push the palms forward, middle finger triggers. This time, the tongue rolls back to the back of the palate on your inhale. Pause, gently pulls away. Exhale as you draw the navel back, perineum up. Two more on your own. I will clear when you're finished with that breath. Just take 3 pull downs. Okay. Let's shake out our hands. So there's a lot we can do with that. I just gave you a little bit to think about. The position, the physical position, and then the tongue placement for each season. And you can start adding, breathing in the color for each season. So our green is for spring, the red is for summer, yellow for earth, or late summer. That white or reflecting, metally reflecting color for metal, and then that deep blue for water. And let's just take, release that and bounce through those heels, gripping the toes, balls of the foot remain on the floor. We're just letting ourselves start to bounce and letting the momentum of that kind of take over. It's almost like you're on a trampoline. Just letting that bounce be natural. Shift a little right and left. You can separate your feet a little bit. You can let your arms kind of swing out. So each season not only has organs that it supports, that are prominent, but there's also the body parts that we need to think about. So again, in the winter, we're working on bone. Stimulating the bone, and through that practice of tapping and holding our postures. So if you're practicing yoga, holding those warrior positions, really trying to put the stress on the bone to help it to strengthen. And once you have strong bones, then you can start to work out from there. So then in the springtime, we work with the connective tissue. So ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, fascia. So the shaking helps to stimulate that. And remember, we talked about before, when you're shaking, you want to be shaking enough that you feel the muscles sliding along the bone, the skin sliding along the muscle. And it's kind of it's scrubbing the body. and clearing the waste that accumulates on, accumulates as we sleep, as we're at rest. So we're trying to kind of dust things off, clean things out. And, that's why we spring clean. Everything kind of settles in, the house is closed up, and we start to open up the windows and dust things off, spruce things up. You notice the middle seasons, the spring and the fall, are really time to create order. Refreshing in the spring. So in a sense, we do create order, and then in the fall, we kind of bring things in, get rid of stuff, make room for things that we need to bring into the house to protect against the elements, the harsh elements of winter. And then we come back into, this cycle. So we don't do much in the winter, we don't do much in the summer. But the spring and the fall, we're busy. Busy, 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 busy. And as you go through this, you'll notice that about beginning of June, you're done with the garden. Although you're not really, right? I know Heidi's a gardener, but okay. Feel it tingling through the whole body. So insects are getting a little, got a little spider right here, sorry. Sorry, guy, you're done. It's windy outside, but all right, clear and set. Okay, bringing the feet back, hip width apart or so. Take your left foot forward, point your toe, flex and point it. Then circle 9 times. See if you can get the toes in there, separate the toes, get them to circle around as best you can with the ankle, and then the other way. Okay, and then shake out that foot and releasing the knee. So we kick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Switch sides. Okay. Point your toe. Flex and point it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and circle and try to add the toes. Try to get them to open and close. Other way. And then shake out the ankle and kick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Step out with those feet about shoulder width apart. Arms come out to the side. We'll do our three sets of horse stance. So medium frame horse stance. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as you sink back. Pull your hips back. Weight goes into your heels. Toes press down. Suction them into the earth, but the weight stays in the heels. Drop your shoulders, elbows. Sink your wrists. Your first finger and thumb are kind of open. Releasing the other 3, like you're taking a picture. Pull your shoulders back. Pull your femurs back to the hip sockets so that you release that lower back. Careful that the sacrum doesn't roll under. The sacrum just is an extension from your lumbar spine. The tailbone, however, curls up. It's a little lift with your sphincter. Inhale. Then exhale, sink. So we tried not to go so far here. We try to keep more of a 45-degree angle spine, a nice long spine. Inhale and exhale. Pulling navel back, perineum up, support that back. Inhale and exhale. On the inhale, just start to rise. And exhale, release the arms. And the shoulders back. Good, let's bring the feet narrow. So they're about maybe 6 to 8 inches apart or a little bit closer, depending on your hip width. And we're going to try to keep those knees in line with the center of the hip, align with the center of the toes. So take your right hand out, press the palm open, fingers together, drop the thumb down. Take your left hand, palm faces the screen, same way as the right hand. Open the pinky and slide it under the thumb. And then close all your fingers. Bring your left thumb up to meet your fingers. It's a little gate. So inhale, take your hands to your chest. And exhale, as you sit back, pull your hips back, you push forward with the palms. Keep your shoulders down, elbows are slightly rounded, chin tucks in, ears pull back. Jaw and ears kind of pull back gently. Don't want to close off any or tighten up the neck or anything, but just want to keep the neck nice and long. So you're staring right over the pinky finger, sinking back a little bit deeper. Keep your weight into your heels. Suction cup your toes to the floor. Inhale. And exhale. And again, fill that internal balloon. Exhale, you're pulling navel back, perineum lifts up. Imagine a great cloud going out of the kidneys. Inhale. Exhale. Next one, inhale to rise. And exhale to release. All right, toes out, heels out, toes out, heels out. So we're a little wider. So our extra wide horse stance are about 2 shoulder widths apart with those legs. Making sure that they are parallel. So pressing out with the heels, in and down with the big toes. And we'll take the hands to the sides. Inhale, the arms up. Palms come together. Exhale as we bring the prayer hands down in front of the heart. And we sink. So when you sink, it's a little bit more of that spiraling happening. So as you're sinking, you push out with those heels and feel that energy go into the toes, then up the arches, inner thighs, and we sink a little bit lower. Maybe you want to come out a little bit more if your legs are wanting to do that, or if you have enough flexibility in those hips to do that. Don't go into it if your knee doesn't want to, your hip is tight and this starts to drop in, you can't really do it. You want to bring your feet in a little closer. Each time you get lower, make sure the hip and the inner thigh is going out, following those toes. And again, breathe in. And this one is about as vertical, because the stance is wider, our back is able to be more vertical, more naturally. But in each position, we are trying to get to a vertical spine. Trying, practice. Even that small width horse stance, the narrow horse stance, One more breath. Good, so we're gonna inhale and exhale. Here we can start to sink a little bit deeper. Now take your heels in, toes in, heels, toes, heels, toes, shake it out. Okay, so we talked about the liver meridian, how it comes up the body from the outside big toenail, coming up the inner thighs. Right here in this little fleshy part of the knee, the outside of the knee, is where the liver meridian runs up through. If that gets swollen, a little fleshy, a little tender, it means that the liver is under some distress. So just know that the liver meridian runs right through there. Then it comes up and let's see, liver meridian runs more along the outside of the obliques, sorry, the rectus abdominis. Okay, so more into the obliques going up that way. And so then it kind of comes and rounds and ends right here. So the gallbladder meridian is actually the longest meridian of the body. So we have this, and it's mostly concentrated in your head. So when you get headaches, it's also a sign of liver agitation, overstimulus in the liver. So when you take your fingertips, and there's a point at the temple. Let's see, a point at the temple, the forehead, just above, not where the, so there's a water point here. The liver point comes more, let's see, I'm going to put my cheat sheet. Okay, so the temple, right about here, here, and the side, like right out here. And then it goes, it just kind of zigzags through the side of the head. Then it comes down to the outside of the skull, kind of from, if you go to the center of the skull and you go out about 2 finger widths out, or maybe about 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the center of the skull. And that point usually feels pretty tender, especially if you've been thinking a lot. And usually those of us who are drawn to this practice usually have our some gallbladder people, brainy people, we're all in our heads a lot of times. So we kind of, you know, have to balance that with our body. So you can work on that point if it's sore. And then the liver meridian, or the gallbladder meridian, kind of runs down through your body, down through the torso, until it gets to the pelvis, and it zigzags into the pelvis a couple of times. And then it draws right down from on the side of the IT band. There's 2 points midway down the IT band, which is, if you have ever done foam rolling on this, on that IT band, you know where those are. That's where it hurts. That, and with good reason, because there's 2 acupuncture points right there within about 1 inch or so in between them. And then you come down the side of the knee, and there's a couple more acupuncture points going down the side of the calf. And then the ankle comes over the front of the ankle and goes out the 4th toe. That's the end of the gallbladder meridian. So it's a long meridian. It's not, it is the longest meridian if you stretch it out. However, the bladder meridian has the most points. The gallbladder has about 44 points, and the bladder point has 58 points, something like that. Okay. So when we're a lot of hip openers, yoga practices might include pigeon, lunges, those kinds of things. And our advanced protocol, which we go getting into again, is the Dao Yin. And Shivashi is more commonly known as in other circles. If you were to look for Shivashi or Dao Yin, they're slightly different depending on the lineage. Our Dao Yin is a more physical practice. It's more in line with your yoga practices. So it's more stimulating. It's not as flowy as our Qigong practices. Okay, so let's begin with our 8 brocades. So we start with 2 hands hold the heavens. So we'll inhale first to clear and then exhale. All right, so let's lace the fingers. Palms are up. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up with the inhale, flipping the palms as they pass the chin all the way up. Hold, reaching, pressing the palms to the sky. Now lift off your heels up to the big toes and then release, exhale. Bring your arms out to the side. Good. Inhale. Lift. Release, exhale. Inhale, lift, exhale. So that's one version. We're going to bring a little variation to it. So we inhale all the way up, you lift, then lower, and then stretch that left side of the body by your right side of the body by reaching to the left, whichever, doesn't matter. And then inhale, come back through the center, lift, and lower, exhale as we reach over to the other side. And inhale, coming back, lift. This time, turn on the exhale, just twisting, looking behind you. Inhale through the center, lift. Exhale, turn. Good, this time, inhale, lift. And as you reach over to that left side, then we're going to rotate in. So we're doing open the side and twist the side. Inhale back through. Lift, lower, exhale, reach to the right side. Keep exhaling as you rotate, looking down towards your feet. Inhale, back up. Coming back through, lift. And then exhale, lower down and release. Woo. Getting warm. Okay, moving on. King removes his sword, or king removes his helmet, depending on your flexibility. And it is getting warm. So put the air up. So king removes the helmet is simply, this version is with, if you're feeling tight in the shoulders, hand at the hip, and the top hand over your head towards your opposite. If you can reach that, the earlobe, great. King removes his sword, show you from the back. Instead of going over the head, you're going behind the head. So you really got a nice stretch from down and across the chest. And your backhand is going behind your waist. Now, I like to kind of, if I have the flexibility to go all the way around. If you do, great. If not, this is fine. And then this is also fine. So this is how we go through this. Coming into king removes his sword or helmet, and then we're going to exhale. And on the exhale, you're extending the spine. Everything is, but everything's being drawn in. So you're exhaling, you're opening, squeezing your shoulder blades together, giving that chest area a nice stretch, and you're looking away from that upper arm. So you're stretching the neck down to the chest. Then inhale, we're going to just change the arms like a yin yang, kind of make a little circle. And then exhale as you pull your elbows back and just turn your head, reaching for your ear, looking behind you, keep the head level, shoulders level. Inhale, switch. Exhale, elbows go back, shoulder blades touch as you turn the head. Your tailbone and belly all meet in the center. Inhale. Exhale. Pulling the elbows back. Inhale. Be careful that you're not doing this. You're just looking, just turning the neck. Inhale, switch. Exhale, just turn the head, keeping the elbows pulling back. So if you're standing up against a wall, maybe you can get the elbows to touch the wall. A little trickier with that top arm. Inhale, switch. Exhale, looking over to left shoulder. Maybe the elbows get to touch the wall. That's how you can practice this, to get that open. Really good for the shoulders, really good for the neck. Inhale, last one. And one more side, in and out. Good, inhale and exhale. So there's many variations of the 8 brocades. It's the most popular Qigong set in the world, and it's tons of different variations, and this is a pretty simple one. The Dao Yin, all of these, the variations you're going to see in the Dao Yin, so our larger, more experienced practice is going to be, you'll see some of this in that. So we still keep our feet together. You can have a couple of ideas on where could your feet be. They could be parallel. They could be turned out. And in fact, our Dao Yin practice is, the first part of it is with this stance. You could also use our yoga stance where your toes are touching, your heels are out. So whichever one you prefer, whichever feels good. Separating heaven and earth. So hold the ball, turn the ball, and pull it apart. So kind of think of like stretching taffy. You know, you go to the shore and inhale as you come back, turn the ball, exhale, pull it apart, stretch. So my palms are the top hand, palms I have a low ceiling, so if I was a little bit taller, I could palm the ceiling, hand palms the floor. Okay, then we come back, hold the ball, turn the ball, stretch and separate. Now variation 2, inhale, hold the ball, turn the ball, step out, and stretching up that left side. Inhale, step in, hold the ball, turn the ball, exhale, step out, reach up through your right side. Inhale, exhale. Now we can turn, just like we did with 2 hands hold the heavens. Turn the ball, exhale, separate. So we're twisting with that stretch. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch. In. Out. In. Out. In. And out. Back to center, inhale, and exhale to set. All right, So next, we've all done this, we've been doing it for a while. Gather the clouds, gather the sun to press the earth. So inhale, we take the hands and open, gather that sun. Keep inhaling, pull it into the kidneys, hold the kidneys. Then exhale as you fold forward, flat back. Then come down the backs of your legs, palm the earth. Then take your hands to your shins. Inhale to another flat back. So extend the spine. Exhale to release. So bringing in a little yoga to this. Inhale to roll up. Coming right up the kidney meridian line. Bringing in the water to feed the wood. Exhale as we set. Look to your left. Gather the sun. Inhale. And exhale, fold, flat back, bend to forward fold. Palm the floor. Inhale, part way, lift, hand goes to the shins, just below the knees. Exhale as you release. Inhale, draw back up. Exhale, look left as you clear. And again, inhale. Exhale, fold, stretching that bladder line. Press the earth. Inhale, partway lift. Inhale, elbows up. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, release, back to the floor, palms down. Inhale, rise up. So I added in a little bit more, all the way up. And exhale, set. Good, do it again. Inhale. Gather the sun, bring it into the kidneys, warm the kidneys. Exhale, flat back. All the way down, palm the earth. Inhale, halfway. Inhale, elbows up, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, roll up. All the way up. Collarbones, exhale. We're going to do one more. Inhale, gather. Exhale, fold. Inhale, partway lift. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, release. Inhale, roll up. Pull the belly in. Expanding the belly, then exhale. Good. Okay, so things change up a little bit. We're going to turn the toes out, heels out. Toes out, heels out. So somewhere between shoulder width and double shoulder width apart. Actually, we can go a little farther out. So we got half of our practice in this, in our frontal plane, and then also the transverse plane, right? Oh no, that's the transverse. Well, anyway, side to side twisting, side to side transverse. And now we're going side plane, lunge, yeah. So feet are out. And I'm going to do, so basically push bow to shoot the arrow. I usually say pull bow to shoot the arrow, but you know, it's easier to push the bow out than to pull the string out. So left hand pulls back. Actually, we're not going to do it that way. Sorry. You know, I get through, there's like almost every set has a variation of push bow. I want to do it the simple way. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, sink. Flip. Inhale as you push out, elbow goes high. Exhale, swoop over the head. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink. Flip to the right, left hand up. Inhale as you pull apart. Palms face out. We're just keeping a palm together, fingers together. Release hand. Bring it up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep low in your horse stance. Exhale, sink. Flip. Inhale, pull, 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 pull. Keep that tension in your muscles and tendons. Release. Arms up, in. Stay low in your stance. Exhale, sink a little lower to the left. Inhale, push. Release, exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Last one. In. Out. Good. Hands up. Now we're going to stay in the stance. Let's take the hands to the hips. We're going to sink a little lower. So here's cat-cow. Okay, so cat gazes at the moon. On the inhale, we're going to roll the shoulders back, pulling back and down on the shoulder blades. Exhale as we round the back, tuck the tail under, look through your legs. Inhale, we're going to come into a long back. Exhale to rotate from your waist, draw your left shoulder back, right shoulder down. So you want to keep this, in line. You're looking up towards the back of the room. Then inhale, come back into arch back. So fielder's position, all right, so your outfielder, watch the ball go over your head. Bad outfielder. Exhale, round the back, watch the ball go through your legs. Inhale, straight back, and exhale, twist and watch that ball go over to the right field. Don't want to go get it. Inhale, back up to center, look up, follow the ball over the head. Exhale, around the back, look through your legs. Inhale, back to straight back. Exhale, watch the ball go over to left field. Inhale, back to center. Arch the back, around the back, exhale. Inhale, straight back, and exhale, look back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and turn. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, rotate, look over. Good. Inhale, back to center. Release, rise, exhale to set. Stay here. You could come in a little bit. So we'll just finish this up. We only got 2 more quick ones to go. So king rises horse with fiery eyes. My favorite one. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. Your fists are right under that liver 14, okay? So try not to bring that fist back. It is here, okay? Elbows pull back. So it's kind of like, so you're riding a horse, okay? Left arm goes out and sink down. As you inhale, rise up, hold that stance. Exhale, slow motion, we're gonna release the hands. Okay, inhale, hold it, rise up. Now watch that the shoulder doesn't, you're not reaching out like that. I'm exaggerating, but there is no change in your shoulders, okay? You're extending. And as you push your fist out, your belly comes in. So give that a try. You can even use your hand on your belly. Inhale, okay, there's your fist right under liver 14. Okay, so it's this power. This takes a little while to get used to, but try to work with that because you don't want this whole body coming into it. If you think about being in a altercation with somebody, they can take, if you're going like this and you're punching, they can take you down if you move that shoulder. So you want a quick strike and get out. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so hands here, right arm is out, inhale to rise, exhale, sink. Good, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now there is like a recoiling as you inhale. You're kind of recoiling, pulling, filling, and then in, 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 in. So you keep breath, and then even really go for it. Ready? And out, bring the feet together. Hands are probably warm, but just warm up anyway, real quick, bring that heat to the kidneys. So last one, King shakes his helmet. So we just do that little lift and drop on the heels. Slow it first, and then we'll do 9 quick ones. Okay, 9 slow ones, 9 quick ones. Inhale, lift, drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. Let the energy rise. You feel it rising through your body. And then when it makes that transition, it starts to fall. Let your hands slide down the back side. Very nice. 3 clearing breaths. And palms together. All right. So if you have, maybe, I don't know if you downloaded the Dao Yin practice last year, Heidi. If you find it, you can look over it and start to maybe, you know, reacquaint yourself with it. Anybody else listening to, I'll see if I can find it in the archives, and I'll send it along. But basically, we are going to get through the whole thing this year. So we've really only gotten through about 2/3 of the Dao Yin. There's 18 exercises altogether. And we've gotten through, what, 12 of them, I guess. And so the last 6 are a little bit, you know, they're the ones that we're warming the first 2/3 of the practice up to the last third of the more difficult practices. So it'll be fun. We're going to get to it this year. And I'll see you on Thursday.